This is our new Soloist SL3 from our American series in Riviera Blue. This is the SL3 that's part of the American series. It's one of four colors, so we have Riviera Blue, we have a satin slime green, a gloss black, and a platinum pearl, which is a white with a pearlescence in it. A couple things about this guitar, right? So it's a soloist, so it's through neck construction, right? This is actually a three-piece maple through neck construction guitar. Ebony fingerboard, gotta have ebony fingerboard on it. Jumbo frets, lumen lace side dots, right? Couple lumen lace side dots. So the lights go out, right? You know exactly where you are. You don't get lost. You don't hit the wrong notes. You don't get fired from your band. We're using Seymour Duncan pickups, so a JB in the bridge position and flat strat in the neck and middle position. Floyd Rose 1500 series bridge with stainless steel elements here. So, you know, these are the type of elements that typically corrode over time, but since they're stainless steel, they'll last forever. 5-way selector switch, offset volume. So, you know, if you're a legato player, you can kind of do this, but if you're an alternate picking type of person, you don't turn yourself off. One feature that we're particularly proud of, there's actually two of them on here. One is the Allen wrench holder on the back.
I love that that's standard.
Which is like, you know, whenever you break a string on these things, it's like you're always looking around for the Allen wrench, but now you can just pull it out of here, unscrew it, you're off, you're ready to go. We're also using these low-profile Goto tuners, but they're also locking tuners, which kind of seems like an oxymoron because you have this locking nut. But if you need to change a string, put the string in, you lock this in and it holds it, and then you can wind it up real quick, tune it up really quick, and you're off and running. Lock it back up, put your Allen wrench back, you're good to go. And then the other thing that's particularly cool is the Truss Rod Adjustment here is at the butt of the neck. So, you know, traditionally you'd have it up here, you'd have to cover off and do all this stuff. Here you can just take one of the Allen wrenches, put it in there, adjust your neck really quick, which is a feature that came at the request of a fair amount of guitar techs that we've interacted with over the years. They're like, you guys have got to figure out a quicker way to do this. So we built that into this guitar as well too. So a real kind of utilitarian workhorse of a guitar. Great tone, great feel, great playability, great aesthetic. Hits on all 3 points.
Is that a new type of mother of pearl sharp teeth? Or?
No, it's just, the direction's different. We inverted this. You know, typically it's the other way around. We sort of turned it upside down. And we did that just so you could visually recognize the guitar on a wall somewhere. You'd know that this was an American series guitar as opposed to, say, a custom shop or USA Select or something from a Pro or X series or something like that.
Tell me about the frets. They seem like they're as wide as they can be.
Yeah, so these are 6100, but they're nickel. They're not stainless steel. We elected to go with nickel because we just felt that this was a warmer, it has a warmer sound to it. But yeah, 6100, nickel frets, jumbo frets. So yeah, they're tall and they're kind of wide, which is, you know, perfect for, you know, this type of thing. And then the neck itself, right? So we're using our speed neck back shape. So it's like 0.77, you know, at the 3rd fret, 0.815 at the 12th. Soft D with rolled fingerboard edges. So it's pretty svelte, but there's enough mass there and meat to kind of support your hand. So it's not just like anorexically thin, not super thin, but it's really, really comfortable. The rolled edges allows you, if you play with your thumb over the top, or if you play more like a classical player, you've got the support, but it feels really comfortable. And, you know, that was one of the key things. You know, if you want to play for a long time, you want the guitar to be pretty light, and you want the neck to provide support and facilitate, you know, speedy runs or speedy riffs or whatever, which, you know, the folks that kind of gravitate to these type of guitars typically end up, you know, doing on these type of things.
Kind of a D shape, would you say?
Soft D. You know, yeah, I mean, I don't know, what kind of letter is that? It's not, I guess that's a U and that's a C, so it's kind of a soft D type of shape. Yeah.
It feels great. Now tell us about the production story. This is...
Yeah, well, the production story. So, the idea initially came from Andy Mooney, our CEO, right? Jackson's been pretty fortunate over the last, say, 7 or 8 years. It's been on a pretty big growth tear. And you know, this is compound annual growth. I won't disclose any particular numbers, but it's pretty impressive, and it was enough to get, you know, the attention of the executive team. And so there was an initiative. They're like, look, over the next 3 to 5 years, we want to really invest in here. can you put a plan together to see what, how big is big? And we did. And it was right around COVID hit, so things kind of got put on ice, but then we came back to revisit it. And, Andy was like, we should really think about a mass-produced American guitar. Because we do American production, but it's made to order. It's not mass-produced. I think a lot of people think it is, but it's not. We put some... It is, well, it's a totally custom shop. I mean, we don't build it until we get an order. And so that was like the one missing element here. And for an American brand like Jackson, I think a lot of people will be like, well, that's sort of a no-brainer. Well, of course you should do this. Why haven't you done this? So Andy's like, yeah, I think we need to go in that direction. You guys put a plan together. Let's get together and talk in 6 or 7 weeks. So we did. Looked at the plan. He said, excellent, green light, go. So that started fall of 2020. It's now we're beginning summer of 2022. So just under 20 some odd months, we've gone from like ideation to a physical, we're in mass production type of thing, which is super, super fast. Particularly, as we were coming out of COVID, which, it strained supply chains, and you guys see the news, you know all about that. So the fact that our ops team was able to work under that kind of environment and do what they've been doing is a testament to, their abilities for sure. So, yeah, I mean, this is a really big thing. Jackson has really never had a mass-produced line of guitars before. They've always made American guitars, and they were typically, variations of a theme, or there were one-offs, that type of thing. So this is a really sort of a new thing for the brand itself, yeah, it'll be really. I think people will be pleasantly surprised when they see the guitars and they see what we roll out, in the coming months and beyond.
So tell me about Jackson's corner of the giant Fender factory in Corona. How much do you share? How much of it is independent, or?
It's completely compartmented. So the only thing we share are the materials, the wood, and even that, there's materials and certain like woods and things that we use that is different than what the Fender uses. But none of the things that we do in production are built elsewhere. Everything is done in that one particular cell, and then they move it into the paint area, and it's sort of a work in progress. They're renovating that entire area. We're going to be in a 3-building campus. So that will be sort of its own self-contained, environment, if you will. So it's all dedicated machinery, dedicated staff, dedicated paint. So we don't get any of those efficiencies because it's a totally different thing. It's,
separate company within the company.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah. I think what we benefit from is from the technical expertise. We've got amazing engineers on site. There are some people that have come from that Fender environment into this environment because of their expertise, right? And that type of, that knowledge exchange or whatever is pretty important. Yeah, yes, the guitars are different, and yes, there are nuances that each brand has that need to be respected and obviously reflected in the guitars, and they go to great lengths to do that. We're not Fenderizing anything by any stretch of the imagination, but there are some skill sets that have been learned on the other side that we can apply here and enhance, and can really benefit the project overall long term.
And where is the new American Series Soloist going to be available?
Authorized Jackson retailers. So, go to your favorite music store who carries Jackson, is authorized to carry Jackson, and you will undoubtedly find one of those there.
Did you tell me the exact pickup names from
So yeah, Seymour Duncan JB pickup, right? And then we've got the flat strats in the middle and neck position. And if you actually look at the pole pieces, they're flush with the covers themselves, because the fingerboard is a compound radius fingerboard. It's 12 inches here, gets flat here, so we can't have these sticking up proudly. They've got to be sort of recessed in order to compensate for the fingerboard. 16, yeah, total 16. It's about 16. Yeah, so you can do really wide bends, or if you want to do some legato stuff, it's easy to do type of thing. Yeah.
Well, thanks, John.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. It was good to see you, sir.